Thank you for watching WISD-TV and welcome to another edition of Know Your Schools. My name is Dale Caffey. My very special guest today is Mr. James Parsons. He is the CEO of Communities in Schools in the heart of Texas, better known as CIS in the Waco ISD campuses. Mr. Parsons, thank you so much for joining us today to tell us more about CIS, Communities in Schools, and what it does for the students in Waco and particularly Waco ISD. First of all, you're relatively new to Waco, so tell everybody why you're here and from where you come.
Originally from Detroit. I received 2 degrees in education, wanted to be a teacher. At that time, there weren't any teaching jobs, so I got into the nonprofit sector, started teaching GED, moved to Chicago and then to Texas, working with children eventually in San Antonio, where I ran a youth agency until I came to Waco this year.
Great. So you have been in Waco about 6 months now?
That's correct, yes.
6 months, moving from San Antonio, a very beautiful city indeed. So tell us why you chose to move from San Antonio deeper into the heart of Texas.
Well, I was already aware of Communities in Schools since it's a national program, and I knew that it was the leading dropout prevention program in the United States. And so when I saw this position posted, I thought this is a chance to really make a difference on a large scale, because we deal with thousands of children in Waco ISD and 5 other school districts, and we really have an impact on that dropout rate.
Tell me a little bit about what you were doing in San Antonio. You said you were doing some working with children.
Yes.
In what area again?
In South San Antonio. Most of it was very similar to CIS in that we did prevention programs, but we also did cultural programs, like we had a dance program. And we had an after school, much as CIS has an after school. So it was quite similar, but we didn't have a national model, which CIS has.
Now, CIS, of course, has been a term that everybody is used to in Waco ISD because it seemingly has been in almost every one of our campuses at one point or another. You actually have some offices that are on our campuses. So talk about CIS's involvement in Waco ISD.
Sure. Well, the Texas Education Agency provides funding for CIS in 28 different offices in Texas, and this is one of them. And they want us to go onto campuses and identify at-risk students, students that have different kinds of issues at home or academics or behavior. And so we are currently on 10 campuses in the Waco ISD where those students have been identified. And in each case, we put a licensed social worker in the school to work with those kids every single day, provide them with supports so that they're able to come to school and concentrate on their academics.
Well, let's get more into that, what that social worker does on a daily basis from 8 o'clock really in the morning until sometimes 5:30 in the evening, I would think.
It is very challenging because there are so many different issues. We have a chart of possible services. It's 6 columns and there's about 30 in each column. So it literally could be dozens and dozens of different things. And each child is a different case, coming from a different family, has different background, different experience, and the issues have to be dealt with in a timely fashion because otherwise we're going to see that child go down the wrong path and eventually drop out of school. So on a daily basis, as the social worker interacts with the child, does an assessment, determines this child needs food, this child needs clothing, shelter, counseling, whatever type of service that she can provide for that child to address that problem immediately. And if she can't do it herself, then tap another resource in the community. And so we have a couple of dozen collaborations in the community for agencies that have services that we can't provide.
I would think that obviously this person on the campus has their eyes and ears open looking for possible cases or children that are having trouble. But do they also depend on teachers and administrators to sort of find, you know, that child seems to be having trouble?
Absolutely. It is very common for a child to be referred to our social worker on the campus by the principal or by a counselor or even by a teacher. Especially when there's something that has happened suddenly and they need help.
Let's talk about the scope of CIS because it's not a small organization.
No.
I mean, it's nationwide, and in fact, you're in numerous schools right here in the heart of Texas near Waco.
That's correct. We just added West ISD and Mejia ISD, and we're already in La Vega and Connolly, and we want to expand beyond where we are right now, because we are authorized to go into the 6-county area of the heart of Texas, which includes Falls, Freestone, Limestone, Bosque, Hill, and McLennan. So we have actually a very large geographic area to serve. We're just making slow progress because it requires funding. And the state provides a base of funding, but if we want to do more, we have to go after private support, like from foundations.
Right. You mentioned funding there, obviously, and TEA funds you a certain amount
yes,
per
it's
year?
fixed amount. It's in the legislation, and that's true of all 28 CIS offices in Texas. We know exactly to the dollar how much is going to be allocated to us, and then they ask us to have the school systems match those dollars from the TEA. So at a particular site like Provident Heights, about 2/3 of the budget is paid by TEA, and the rest is paid, in this case, by Waco ISD.
Incidentally, we are at the library here at Provident Heights, and you consider this one of your showcase campuses, I would think, because numerous services are offered here through CIS. Can you talk about some of those?
Sure. We have an after school when school lets out. We are ramping up a new model that we call Play to Learn, and this is considered to be one of our demonstration sites for that. And Whitney Jospehs is in charge of that and has been with us for quite some time. And we have a curriculum that we use in that after school, so it's constructive time for the children. So even when school lets out, they continue to learn until mom and dad come and pick them up.
Hi, my name is Whitney Jospehs, and I'm the CIS After School Manager here at Provident Heights Elementary. My job as the After School Manager is to build relationships with the students and their teachers and parents so that they feel as though after school the Play to Learn program is a safe place for them to be in the afternoons. Play to Learn also provides tutoring and mentoring as a daily extension of the CIS program, and we help the students fill in the learning gaps that they may have during the day. I've been here at Provident Heights for 5 years, and I'm so glad to be here again and help you and your students.
And then we also have an arrangement, a partnership with Antioch Stars, where they have a book club right here in this library during lunchtime. Volunteers from the private sector, from the community, come in and they pair up with children and they read with the children.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Ybarra, and I am with the STARS Mentoring Project. We're partners here with CIS at Provident Heights, and we come in and support what CIS does here at the school through book clubs. It has been a wonderful partnership, and we're so excited. It's been a great collaboration, and we're excited to get to start off this new school year. Our last school year was wonderful, and thankful that we have such a wonderful partnership, not only with the school administration, but also with CIS.
So we also have a AmeriCorps, a federal AmeriCorps program. We bring in volunteers from that, and they act as supplement to the core activities that were going on. If we need a mentor, for instance, a child doesn't have perhaps a male role model in his life, the AmeriCorps volunteer can provide that. And we also have interns from Baylor and other universities that come too.
Hi, I'm Taylor McKinney, and I'm the CIS Program Manager at Provident Heights Elementary. As Program Manager, I provide and locate resources to surround our students with a community of support and love to help them achieve their full potential and achieve in school and in life. I work with parents and teachers to identify and address issues that may keep our students from achieving their potential. We work together to keep our students on track and to succeed. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to work with Provident Heights and with communities and schools of the heart of Texas, and I'm thankful to be here.
And that explains somewhat what you talked about a moment ago. You have a paid CIS person on campus who goes out to the community and finds other resources to help children out.
We leverage what's there. So instead of having one person involved, we've got at least 4 or 5, maybe more people involved.
Has CIS changed or had a metamorphosis over the last several years? Have there been some changes that parents need to know about?
I think we've been pretty consistent because we actually have a trademark license for the CIS brand, if you will. The model that was created by Bill Milliken in the 1970s. And that has been pretty consistent. What parents might be interested to know is that we are the first CIS in Texas to be accredited, which means we meet the standards, the national standards that were set down by the National CIS Office. So we are a leader in terms of quality, not just the number of children that we serve, but the quality of the services that we provide.
You've been in Waco only 6 months, you yourself. You replaced a gentleman by the name of Doug McDurham, who was
Yes.
here for several years and has moved on. Tell me about your first 6 months in Waco and what you were able to, the people you were able to meet, and your first impressions of this city.
Well, I've been so happy, and I always tell people I feel privileged and honored to be here. What I really like, I see on a daily basis, is a sense of community. It seems like people are on the same page. It doesn't seem like there's different groups working for different reasons. It seems like everybody wants to see Waco grow and grow in an intelligent way, and especially for the children to get an education so that eventually they can get jobs right here in this region instead of having to move away. And so a lot of what we do with the older kids is provide them with training. We send them to McLennan College or Hill College. They get welding training, nursing training. These are teens, 17, 18, 19 years old, all the way up to 21. So if anything has changed, I think we probably have broadened our continuum of ages and services, anywhere from 4 years old all the way up to 21, so that we ensure that every child, no matter how old he or she is, has a chance at success.